Merry Christmas and best wishes for a very, very successful 2018. I love Christmas, probably because of what's at the heart of Christmas itself, which is hope. And anything filled with hope, like Christmas, where kids are hoping what they want is under the tree, and mothers are hoping that the Christmas is special for the family, and dads are hoping that they got the tool they wanted or the golf club they wanted. It's filled with hope everywhere. Everywhere you go, people are smiling and happy. It's such a wonderful time of the year, immediately followed by the hope of 2018 and the successes that we all hope that we're going to reach in 2018. I love this time of the year. It's a time full of giving and loving. We had a wonderful Christmas at our home this year. We decided instead of spending insane amounts of money on store-bought gifts, we would give one gift to each person, and it needed to be handmade. These gifts are gifts that we will cherish for the rest of our lives. It was so much fun, and everybody was so excited to give their gifts to one another. The true meaning of Christmas. Giving. And with that being said, I'm going to give to you today 5 ideas that you can utilize that will cost you not one single solitary penny to do next year that can make the difference of $80,000 to $160,000 worth of additional gross income in your company. So, idea number 1, establish a wall chart. What is a wall chart? It is something that tracks your repeat client count. It is very basic, very simple. You can see on the screen a wall chart. You will also be able to see it in the newsletter if that's how you came here, or email me at sltinberg@yahoo.com and ask for samples of wall charts and I will send them to you. I have had a wall chart since the day I was in business. I found one from 2 years before I sold my business. It was done on the back of wallpaper. It doesn't matter how you track them. Today I still make a wall chart for rags to riches. On the 3 months that I haven't done it, I've had terrible months. You need to know where you're going and direct yourself. What should be on this is the repeat clients you've added, and a repeat client is anyone you clean more than once a month, and any repeat client that you lost with the balance for that day and your goal for that day. It should carry all the days of the month, Monday through Friday. So a wall chart will be anywhere from 21 to 23 lines. I promise you, if you do this, you will drive your repeat client count. And it is your repeat client count that allows you to add to your bottom line without spending money on advertising. Once you get that client, you keep that client forever as long as you keep their homes clean and arrive there on time with the same people. But it's the easiest money you'll ever make. If you can add repeat clients at the rate of 1 net per week to your base, you will add approximately $80,000 a year. Add to that your natural growth from 1 times, and you're going to see yourself increasing 20 to 30%. Number 2. Have a one-on-one with each one of your teams every week, or solos if you're solo. You need to spend quality time with the people who keep your repeat client there. Quality time is not when you have a group of people in the break room, or not when you have a group meeting every morning. You will not find out from your people what you need to hear in a group meeting. They are too afraid to come forward and speak. I know this because I was in 29 offices last year. Yes. And in the last 2 years, I'm sorry. And I see hear time and time again from cleaners that I spend a half a day with or a day with, concerns that they have regarding their company or the owners or the managers. When I bring these things back to the owners, they're so disappointed because they never heard them. They say after every meeting we ask people to speak up. They aren't going to speak up in a group, folks. If you want to stay on top of the feelings, the emotions of your people and consistently fill them with hope, then you need to meet with them every single week. If you only had quality time with your spouse or your children once a week, it wouldn't be enough. But fortunately, in a business setting, it is enough as long as you do it every single week without fail. What do you discuss? You discuss things like they're attaboys, great job. You can't say that enough, even though you probably said it the day the client called in and said, great job. You want to say it again. It's called an emotional bank, and you need to put in more attaboys and oopses. And of course, you'll discuss the oopses. If you want to know why things are really going wrong in your cleaning, you aren't going to find that again at a group meeting, even if everybody in that room is having the same problem. They're all going to be corrected in a different way, or they're all having that problem for different reasons. Unless it's your product, and they probably won't badmouth your product in front of other people either. They'll just go out and buy their own, as a matter of fact. I've seen this many times, where they're bringing their own products to work because they don't think yours work, but they don't want to tell you they don't, because you're not giving them the ability to do that in a one-on-one. You want to discuss their career goals, and this is where you put the hope. You show them there's something in life other than cleaning toilets, and that's what makes them hopeful, and that's what keeps them with you forever. Follow-up calls. Every time you clean a one-time client, you need to call that client and ask them how it went and try and turn them into a repeat client. Every repeat client needs to be called after the first cleaning. They need to be called after the third cleaning to make sure you kept that consistency going in the beginning. And then you need to call them every 6 months after and find out how that cleaning is going. I know many of you are using quality surveys. I think they're great. I wouldn't stop them. When I had my cleaning service back in the days before the internet, I left a stamped response card at the first visit and one every time they returned one to me. You need to ask your clients to respond. But at that time, my response rate of using response cards were about 15 to 20%, very similar to what internet responses are running. So every 6 months, I called my entire repeat client base to see if they were happy, because I was worried about the 85% that wasn't responding to me. The 15% normally said, great job. Occasionally you would hear from someone who wasn't happy, and you'd fix it right away and go look at that team. But you need to hear from every single client at least every 6 months. So do a phone campaign. If every day come with this process and won't have to call for a couple of months. Once every 6 months is sufficient, but you need to touch bases with every single one of them with sincerity in your voice. Follow up on marketing to people who you've cleaned one time, or who called for a quote and you never sold, or your repeat clients who left you, even if it's for quality, because you're going to improve your quality this year and you're going to tell them you have and ask them to come back and give you another try. This is time and time again where I see companies sitting on tons of money that they should be utilizing. Not everybody in America uses cleaning services. It's not McDonald's. It's not Starbucks even. It's a very finite group of people, probably 1 in 10, 1 in 12. So you're looking for a needle in a haystack. Anybody who has called you for a price, anybody who used you one time, anybody who used you repeat is probably using somebody else repeat and might be just as unhappy with them as they were with you, is that needle. You need to take the time to continue to thread those needles until the thread stays. I see all kinds of companies with 500, 800, 1,000 names on their database, and they don't send them a single newsletter. They don't contact them at all. A potential customer has to hear from you 17 times, see your name 17 times before they'll use you. Now, if they've used you once, but you don't continue to put your name in front of them and they see somebody else's name, they probably don't even remember your name anymore. We all think they know who we are, but you know what? They don't. They don't remember the name of your company. It's hard for them to remember to refer you to somebody else, even if they were happy with you, if they only used you one time and they can't remember your name and you don't keep putting it in front of them. Rework what you're sitting on. Think of it, if any of you buy Google or Home Advisor clicks, they cost you $20, $30 a click? Think of every single one of those names that you have worth $20 to $30 and rework them. You might end up rebuying them back anyway. And last, and certainly not least, implement a process for cleaning that cleans a home perfectly every single time you clean it. And yes, that is possible, if you have defined what you consider a perfect cleaning. So along with defining a process, you also need to define what that process needs to clean. What are you offering in a general clean? What are you offering in a one-time clean? What are you offering in an initial clean? What are you offering in a repeat service? Make sure you define that to your clients so they know what. As I said, I have been to 29 offices in the last 2 years, and I have visited in that time probably about 200, 225 homes. I've trained in these homes, so I see every single corner of this home, not just spot checking, which in my opinion does not work. And I have seen many things like the pictures you are seeing right now that certainly justify a company not growing, even though they're selling, they're advertising, they're selling, they're advertising, but they don't see that consistent growth because their product does not match the expectations of the client. I see things like you have been seeing cobwebs where the ceiling meets the wall, air vents that are filthy, ceiling fans that are filthy, switch plates that when we cleaned them actually had like mud rolling down the wall, door frames around the doorknobs that were so dirty you really couldn't get the dirt off even with a non-abrasive scrubby. They might have to repaint those doors. And this is the only company that has been cleaning this house since the day it was built. If you have integrity, if you care about the growth of your company, if you want to make 2018 the very best year it could ever be, and from that point forward turn into the company you want to be, whether it's 500,000, 1 million, 5 million, learn how to clean a house. And everything else will fall into place. So those are my 5 free ideas to you. I promise you, if you implement them and utilize them every single day, you will find yourself growing at a pace you never expected. You will have your internal clients, you will have your external clients, you will be cleaning repeat clients, which makes it easier for you to manage so you can spend the time necessary with your cleaners and with your advertising and with your networking. But you must do these every single day in order to be an excellent company. Because as Aristotle said, excellence is not an act, but a habit. And a habit is something you do every single day. It's not on your priority list and you decide whether or not you're going to make that a priority or not that day. It never hits your priority list because it's an automatic thing that you do every single day, like brushing your teeth. These 5 areas. It won't take that long. It's very simple. Started. And number 6. Okay. And my last gift to you that ties this whole package together is to encourage you to continue to establish hope in your company, in the hearts of your employees, and even in the hearts of your clients. This season, of course, reminds me of how happy people are and what a different energy level there is when people are consistently hopeful as they are at Christmas time. You too want to add that to your office. You want to bring that joy and that peace that hope brings to everybody to your cleaners. Researchers say that an employee is 14% happier if they are hopeful. Their attendance increases and how they embrace your company increases. So again, use these 5 simple gifts, add to it constant sprinklings of hope, and you are sure to grow in 2018. I would be remiss to not mention that if you do decide that you want to spend some money on developing your company, of course, several venues available to you. There is one-on-one coaching on the phone, there are seminars, there are conventions, and then there are on-site visits. My recommendation as a coach is if you want to spend less than $2,000, go to a seminar that is tailored to one arena, one area that you feel you are the weakest in. If it's marketing, if it's in managing your employees, if it's how to clean a home, pick the seminar that is adapted to what you need, because a seminar for less than $2,000 is timed, so it's not going to be for a whole week. And if they cover everything, you won't go home and learn anything that you really could implement. And if they cover everything, there's probably nothing you learned well enough to be able to take home and implement. If you're going to spend more than $2,000, I would take a very close look at in-office visits. Someone who comes to your office for a week and literally spends time with you in your office, teaches your cleaners how to clean a home, which is something most of you don't have time to do. Sees how your operation works firsthand and can give you some invaluable ideas and help you implement them before they leave your office. I, of course, do this. I've been to 29 offices. I do have names of people that you could call if you email me again at sltinberg@yahoo.com. I would be glad to give you some names of references, people who truly saw an impact in their office. Suzanne Hazlett, who wanted to hit $1 million this year, brought me into her office in January of 2017 and called me last week and said she hit the $1 million mark. Thrilled. I would love to share these names with you. You can get an idea with them of what I can do when I come to your offices. Last, I would like to give to you the video that I sell called Putting Hope Where Others Think There Is None as you kick off 2018. It is available to you on YouTube. I put it out there yesterday. You can search Putting Hope Where Others Think There Is None on YouTube. You can search Sharon Tinberg on YouTube. Or you can email me again at sltinberg@yahoo.com and I will send you the link. Or if you got to me via my newsletter, the link is in the newsletter. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. I hope you find them valuable ideas. I hope you implement each and every one of them and take the 30 minutes a day it will take to implement them. And I wish you the best in 2018, and I would be delighted to hear from each and every one of you. Thank you, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year.